Is Giannis Antetokounmpo about to ask out of Milwaukee? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Hit that subscribe button. We're pushing for 6,000 subscribers before the season starts. So do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. All right, so Giannis Antetokounmpo, unquestionably a breathtaking player in this league. Absolutely unreal. I mean, these are video game numbers that he's putting up. Just look at last season. 30 points, 11 and a half boards, 6.5 assists, 1.2 steals, 1.1 blocks, while shooting 61% from the field. I mean, that's absolutely absurd, the things that Giannis can do. So, should the Milwaukee Bucks trade Giannis Antetokounmpo? No, definitely not. This man is insanely talented, but might they need to? Now, that is an interesting question. So, this recently came up on The Athletic. This is from Sam Amick. Rival front office executives are hoping the Bucks fail miserably so that he might consider an NBA life outside of Milwaukee. If Lillard struggles to be at his best again in a Bucks jersey, trade calls will never inevitably come Milwaukee's way about him. All right, so far, I mean, of course, teams are going to be, like I said, Giannis is amazing. Of course, teams are going to be interested in Giannis. But would Giannis actually want to leave? Because the Bucks, they don't want to trade Giannis. They don't want to, and frankly, they don't have to necessarily. If you look at his contract, Giannis Antetokounmpo, this season here is making good chunk of change here, $48.7 million, but $54 million next season, $58 million the season after that, and then a player option for $62 million. So at the very least, we're talking about 3 seasons before Giannis could potentially leave in free agency. But we also know that when star players ask out, deals tend to happen. So could Giannis ask out of Milwaukee, and would he actually do this? Well, maybe that isn't as crazy as it might initially sound. This is from a podcast about a year ago where Giannis talked actually about leaving the Milwaukee Bucks. Check it out.
And we approach the game every single day the right way, and we all sacrifice for a common goal, I can see myself being in Milwaukee Bucks for the rest of my career. But the moment I feel like people are not committed as I am to get that golden thing in the back, I am not. I'm a Milwaukee Buck, but most importantly, I'm a winner. I want to win, and I have to do whatever it takes for me to win. And if there's a better situation for me to win the Larry O'Brien, I have to take that better situation.
Aha. So Giannis is a Milwaukee Buck. He loves Milwaukee, but he wants to win. That is more important to Giannis than being a Milwaukee Buck. Winning basketball. That's the most important thing. And we take a look at this quote as well from Giannis from a couple of years ago. Said, "One challenge was to bring a championship here, and we did. It was very hard, but we did. I just love challenges. What's the next challenge? The next challenge might not be here. Me and my family chose to stay in this city that we all love and is taking care of us for now. In 2 years, that might change. I'm being totally honest with you. I'm always honest. I love this city. I love this community. I want to help as much as possible." So look, Giannis has talked for a while about maybe someday leaving the Milwaukee Bucks. So this is why it's not crazy. It's not just wishful thinking for NBA general managers around the league to be lining up, hoping, praying that the Milwaukee Bucks once again fall flat on their faces and Giannis asks out. Remember, they made the big trade last year to go get Damian Lillard. But guess what else they did? They traded away Drew Holiday. And where did Holiday wind up? With the Celtics. Helped them win a championship. You gave a rival Eastern Conference team the player that you traded away for Dame. Dame was good last season. Not great, but good last season. But clearly not good enough to get the Bucks where they want to go. Wasn't enough of an improvement over Drew Holiday. Insanely different players. Drew Holiday being the defensive guard, Damian Lillard being the offensive flamethrower. But the difference wasn't enough for the Bucks to get where they wanted to go. And you helped an Eastern Conference opponent win an NBA championship. That can't feel good. That's got to put even more pressure on the Bucks. Like, hey, we basically gave a title to the Celtics. Now, maybe they would have won it anyway without Drew Holiday, but we gave them a major piece that helped them win a championship by doing this trade that did not work out for us. That doesn't look great for the Milwaukee Bucks. We need to turn this thing around. We need to fix this. And you look at what's happened recently. Again, Giannis is saying we need to win. If I'm going to stay in Milwaukee, we need to win. So what has happened to the Milwaukee Bucks recently? And again, this is part of the reason why NBA general managers around the league are hoping that the Bucks fall flat on their face one more time, because they've already done it multiple times here. Take a look at this. So the Bucks, last couple of seasons, look at that. You've got the NBA championship in the 2020-2021 season. Great year for the Bucks. The next year, Eastern Conference semis. That's a little surprise. Obviously, they've dealt with injuries and things over the years. But look at the last 2 years. 2 years in a row. Eastern Conference first round. Going out in round 1, 2 years in a row. And I already talked about Giannis he's a 2-time MVP. He's an MVP candidate every single season. He puts up insane, ridiculous video game style numbers. That team can't be going out in the first round of the NBA's JV conference.
Shout the season, man.
You simply can't do that. So we've got Giannis, who has a history of saying, hey, I love Milwaukee. Don't get me wrong. I love Milwaukee. But as soon as I feel like I'm not going to win here, as soon as I feel like not everybody in the organization wants to win, if I feel like the guys on the team don't necessarily have that same drive that I do, I'm out. I'm out. So again, going back to that contract and Sam Amick's piece from today saying that, yeah, GMs around the NBA are hoping the Bucks fall flat on their face once again, and that they can then send those offers over to the Bucks and try to poach Giannis. And you look at the contract right now, look, at $48.7 million, let's say this is next summer and the league calendar flips, even $54 million. Do you know how many teams will be lining up to stack up as many salaries as they could to go get Giannis Antetokounmpo? All of them. 29 teams would be inquiring about Giannis if they could potentially go after him. Everyone would be interested in him. And if you're Giannis Antetokounmpo, 30 years old, you think about how much of his success is reliant upon his freakish athleticism. There's no guarantee that at the end of this current contract, he's going to still be dominant. Now, he'll still be a wonderful player. I think he can easily play into his mid-30s, but this is a guy whose breathtaking athleticism helps him out quite a bit, in addition to his massive size, the wingspan, all of that is Giannis. He knows the window is now. If he's going to win a championship, it's got to happen now. So if the Bucks have another season like they've had recently, where they bow out in the first round of the Eastern Conference, it would not be a shock at all. And again, Giannis has been telling us for years now about this. If Giannis, despite the fact that the Bucks went and traded for Damian Lillard, despite the fact that they've done what they can to build a team around him, it wouldn't be a shock at all if Giannis were to say, you know what? I'm going to move on and I'd like to be traded. Now, once again, contractually, the Bucks don't have to. They could say, Giannis, you're our guy. We know you want to be traded, but we're not going to do it. Look, the Lakers did it with Kobe decades ago at this point. That could happen. But if Giannis asks out, do the Bucks also say, you've done a lot for our franchise. If this is what you truly want, we will help facilitate that. And then we could be talking about the summer of Giannis trades coming up in July. So what the Bucks do this season, and I think the Bucks are going to be good, but what the Bucks do this season will be immensely important for Giannis Antetokounmpo and his future in Milwaukee. Finally, again, he's been telling us for years that he wants to win. He loves Milwaukee, and if he can win in Milwaukee, he will stay. But if he can't, and I would imagine 3 years in a row of exiting in the first round would probably be a pretty good indication there. Maybe we get to the point where those general managers who are circling like vultures right now have an opportunity to swoop in. But everybody, let me know your thoughts. Could Giannis actually ask out from the Milwaukee Bucks? Could this be the next big superstar trade that we're talking about? Let me know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, see ya and stay safe.